For those of us who are joining the live stream, we're going to begin very shortly.
How many people are live streaming? Is there a way to tell, Raimi, how many are?
Yeah, let's see. Well, on here it says there's 7 people. There's 7 people here. Yeah, 7 watching. I'm saying let's refresh there.
We'll have to keep refreshing.
Let's see. 7 watching. It should update live. Oh, now there's 9. Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's growing.
If you want, I can pull up my laptop.
Can I be over there where I am?
Yeah, or yeah, where do you want next to you?
Yes, please.
If there are any questions in the chat.
I'll see it on the computer.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
He's gonna grab me one.
Would a tablet be okay?
Sure. I mean, as long as it works.
Yeah, just.
And as long as I don't need a password.
Yeah, these all have passwords.
Where we live, well, we live in Brooklyn, so we're gonna take
I am loud.
But, I mean, that's what
It's just
it's true. But, you know, I mean, I grew up in Casero, so I'm a couple steps away.
Like right now.
Oh, yeah, well, you. I am not very good.
I guess these iPads are restricted.
I know, my baby, my son keeps telling me, where's my watermelon baby? Like, it's growing. Not yet.
How old is your son? You'll actually remember.
Yeah,
Being
yeah. And big girl.
Then they go to high school.
Yes. I mean, he's already pre-K, going to public school. Learning English,
He's in 3K?
pre-K, learning English. And then he'll start going to tuition for pre-K.
You're gonna put him in dual?
Yeah.
You have an inside track of this. This is nice. You have an inside track of this.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We should start. Yes. All right. How's the sound?
Let's see. I'll monitor on here.
We should start.
Can you do a test? Say anything?
Anything.
Sounds good.
Sounds good?
I'll turn that off though.
Yes.
Yeah, and that'll be
we'll
make
do
it.
the sound check after you turn the air conditioner on. Yeah, yep. There's about 7 viewers. I get to keep refreshing to see.
All right, you can see anything now.
Anything.
Anything.
See?
Sounds pretty good.
Sounds good?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. All right, so our PA president is on the way, and I would like to turn the floor to our guests to introduce yourselves to our parents at our parent association meeting.
Ok, la presidenta de la Asociación de Padres está de camino, entonces vamos a pasar la palabra a ella para que se identifique.
Hi, I'm Julianne Petzo. I work in the Office of District Planning, and I'm the Associate Director for Bronx Planning.
Hi, Valeria Rojas, the Director of Bronx Planning for the Office of District Planning. Buenas tardes, Valeria Rojas, la Directora de Planeamiento Distrital para el Bronx.
Carl Manalo, Superintendent of Bronx High School's 7, 9, and 12 districts.
And then obviously the main agenda is why you guys are here at the parent association meeting.
You want to start?
Yes, you want?
You can start. You want me to start? Okay. So some of you I've already met in the SLT. And so today is one of the meetings that we have after the SLT. We met with the teachers earlier, around 3 o'clock, and now we're meeting with parents. So how many of you already know why we're here?
¿Cuánto él dice que más temprano hoy, o algunos de ustedes tuvieron anteriormente en la primera reunión que se hicieron de SOT, del equipo de liderazgo? Y después de esa reunión, entonces ellos tuvieron una reunión temprano con los maestros y ahora se van a reunir con ustedes. Él dice que ¿cuántos de ustedes saben la razón por la que estamos aquí?
So, all right, so you all know. So the reason why we're here is because there is an exploration of an idea of moving cinema from this building, the annex, the Monroe Annex, to the main Monroe building. And so there have been many steps of that, of why we got to exploring this avenue. It's because there are a number of seats that are needed for middle school, about 277 per year that we don't get from this side of District 12, that we lose to other districts. I want to give you some time to,
En charters.
yeah, and charter schools.
Okay, so él dice que estamos aquí es porque hay una propuesta de mover esta escuela de este plantel al main building, que es la escuela que está al lado, que ya ustedes conocen, y eso es en base de que hay un número de asientos de la escuela de middle school que se necesita, y por eso se ha tomado en cuenta esta escuela para eso. She's asking why this.
What?
She's asking why this school.
Yeah,
is
we're
here.
gonna, I'm gonna talk more. And there is a class size law that we have to comply in a couple of years where there has to only be 25 students per class.
También va a haber como una regla nueva de que cada escuela tiene que tener solamente 25 estudiantes por salón. Y eso se tiene que cumplir en el siguiente año.
And there's overcrowding in the building currently, right?
Y también hay, ¿cómo se puede decir overcrowding? Una sobrepoblación. Una sobrepoblación, hay demasiado, no hay demasiados
no hay suficiente espacio para el número de estudiantes que cada una de las 3 escuelas que están en este edificio deberían obtener de acuerdo a un documento que es de la ciudad, se llama The Citywide Footprint, que dice, de acuerdo a tu registro de estudiantes, tú deberías tener tanto espacio. Pues eso nos está dando porque no hay suficiente espacio para acomodar a todos los estudiantes, y esto es verdad para las 3 escuelas en el Distrito 75, Cinema School and Moore Hall 5.
And Mott Hall 5 is the only middle school on this side of District 12.
Sí, entonces el distrito 12 está geográficamente dividido por las líneas del
Sorry. Yes.
por las líneas del Amtrak y por el río del Bronx. Entonces están geográficamente aislados las escuelas que están al este. Entonces tenemos 6 escuelas primarias, son de las más populares del distrito, y solamente hay una escuela que es Moore Hall 5, que es la única que ofrece los grados 6 a 8. Entonces, por lo tanto, los que se están graduando en quinto y van a sexto, que no pueden entrar a Moore Hall 5, se van a un charter school o se van del distrito 8 al distrito 11.
And so the DOE is exploring the idea of increasing the Mott Hall 5 seats in this building and moving cinema into the other building.
Y lo que se está explorando en este momento, y decimos explorar, porque estamos en la fase en la cual estamos recolectando las preguntas, el feedback, sus comentarios, estamos explorando que Cinema School. Did you say about the charter than that?
Oh, no, I didn't. So there's also, the reason why we're also having a conversation about this is that there was a charter school in the main Monroe building that left in June and opened up the 3rd floor as a space that could possibly be used.
Right. So I'll just add that I've been in this office for over 5 years, and for over 5 years we've had this problem where this building is overcrowded. There are not enough middle school seats. We're losing students every year, but there was no space. There was no opportunity, and all of a sudden, this charter living opened up space that was no longer not available before. So para traducir, ¿por qué estamos en esta situación? Desde que yo estoy en esta oficina, que son más de 5 años, hemos hablado del problema de que perdemos a tantos estudiantes que se gradúan de quinto a sexto porque no hay otra escuela y no hay espacio tampoco para poder para que los estudiantes puedan entrar e ingresar a una escuela en este lado del distrito 12. Y también hace mucho tiempo que este edificio está sobrepoblado. Sin embargo, el año pasado, a finales del año pasado escolar, el charter school que estaba en el campus del Monroe, en el main campus, se fue y de repente tenemos espacio. Entonces hemos estado trabajando desde el invierno, conversando y recabando el feedback, comentarios, para ver qué hacemos con este espacio. Se han visto diferentes escenarios y se han propuesto hacia el liderazgo del Departamento de Educación. O sea, nosotros no estamos decidiendo esto. Nosotros lo que hacemos es poner la información pros, con, escenario 1, escenario 2, escenario 3, y luego hubo un cuarto, quinto escenario, y entonces el liderazgo del DOE decidió, ok, exploremos la potencial realocación gradual de Cinema School, porque permitiría, por un lado, darle a Cinema School el espacio que necesitaría de acuerdo a su registro de estudiantes, y por otro lado permitiría que Motorhall 5 pudiera expandir los cupos de escuela intermedia, y que el distrito 75 ya tampoco no estaría sobrepoblado, sino que recibiría el espacio que necesita.
¿Y ustedes están de acuerdo con eso de que muevan esta escuela para allá?
Por eso, esto no es algo que nosotros estemos decidiendo. Nuestro trabajo es, y en realidad el superintendente Manalo y bueno, anteriormente la superintendente René Pert han estado, ¿cómo se dice? Advocating, abogando por esta escuela. La directora Warner propuso otras dos alternativas, las evaluamos también. Nosotros tenemos nuestras recomendaciones, lo que nosotros pensamos en realidad no importa, porque quien toma la decisión es el liderazgo del departamento.
¿Y ustedes no pueden hacer nada para ayudar a esta escuela?
Nosotros hemos hecho nuestro mejor esfuerzo para poder recabar la información y ponerla en un memorándum, donde se ha evaluado los pros y los cons de los escenarios. Más no es, no creo que está en nuestro rol, ni tampoco, francamente, que les importe mucho lo que nosotros pensamos.
¿Y por qué el Departamento de Educación, cuando los estudiantes están aplicando, no tienen un total de estudiantes, o está completa, no cojan más? Porque tienen que coger estudiantes, si ven que ya no caben más, tienen que tener un límite de, ya si no está completo, no más. Porque
ya
si
más está lleno, no más.
Si hubieran tenido ese control, esto no pasa. Claro, esto pasa.
Lo que viene pasando es que como la otra escuela se salió, no quieren mover a nosotros para allá.
Exacto.
Como que dice, ay, échenlo para allá y me stop. Because I want to know who the heck.
Before we start, I just want to make sure we're live streaming.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Just to remind.
Esto lo que viene siendo es que quién puso esta propuesta, y si usted dice que ya llevan desde el invierno haciendo esto, ¿quién puso la propuesta? Porque si fue Majo que puso esta propuesta.
Hace años.
Fue Majo.
Sí, hace años.
Sí,
Mi
fue
hijo
Majo.
se graduó en Manjó
Sí.
hace muchísimos años atrás, y ese señor ha estado luchando por este espacio.
Sí,
Eso
sí.
no es de ahora, eso viene más
Eso viene
desde
siendo-
10 años atrás. Yo sé por qué te digo, mi hijo segundo, Luis, él estudió desde el 6 grado acá, y hace eso más de 10 años que ese señor está luchando por coger este lado, yo sé.
Can we translate?
Yes, she is saying who is pushing for that
Proposal.
Yes, that proposal happens, and they are, assuming and naming someone, the principal from Morrison.
Sí,
And she said that she knows that,
year before.
She said that she knows.
She know that.
that she knows 10 years ago when,
When another son,
Mhm.
said that.
yes, he graduated from that school, and she said that she knows perfectly.
I understand.
I know it's him.
I want to be clear that I'm not saying that what you're saying is not true, but this didn't come because of whatever that person is advocating, because the reality is there was no space, but we have an opportunity here to rethink how to use the space. The only scenario that unfortunately seemed to sort of take into account resolve the overcrowding, so everybody will get enough space, including cinema school. That will resolve the overcrowding, that will allow us to comply with class size law, and that will not resolve, but address some of that need in middle school seats. Was this a scenario? Other scenarios that were considered, we got feedback, and for example, cinema school proposed becoming a 6 to 8.
And a 6 to 12.
So like I wanted to address 6 to 8 and a 6 to 12. 6 to 8, the feedback we got, cinema school is a high performing, high demand high school. If you make it only into a middle school, then where are the 9th graders going to articulate? There's nowhere else in the Bronx that offers that kind of curricula. So you will be taking something away. The other issue was that it didn't resolve the overcrowding. So cinema school staying here as a 6 to 8 addresses the middle school seat, yet nobody could comply with class size and everybody will still be overcrowded. Even if cinema school will be just a 3 section per grade middle school, still tight. And then the split side of cinema school as well was put forward too. And I will translate, just.
I'm just reading what the.
Oh, yeah,
the parents are
no,
saying.
I will translate in a second, thank you. And then that was put forward with the pros and the cons, and then leadership decided to still move forward with exploring, and I'm saying exploring this scenario because we're exploring, we're getting the feedback. Voy a traducir, lo que estaba diciendo es que lo que usted me dice, señora, no digo que no sea cierto. Yo no dudo lo que usted está diciendo, pero lo que quiero decir es, esta proposición se dio porque la escuela charter se fue y de repente se abrió espacio. Entonces desde el invierno estamos viendo diferentes escenarios de cómo utilizar ese espacio y se vieron diferentes escenarios, incluyendo, para terminar de traducirle.
Sí, yo te voy a decir cómo lo pueden usar fácil.
Ok, pero espérenme. Uno de ellos fue Principal Warner, la directora Warner propuso de que Cinema School se convierta en una middle school, una escuela intermedia, porque eso acabaría con el problema del déficit de cupos de escuela intermedia. En el análisis se vio que en realidad, sí, eso se resolvía. El problema es que este edificio quedaría igual quedaría apretado y no podrían cumplir con la ley de class size law, ¿cómo se dice? La ley
De clase, de espacio de clase.
Ajá, del tamaño de la clase. También se propuso que Cinema School se haga una escuela secundaria, grados 6 a 8 aquí, 9 a 12 allá. Igual, tener Cinema School 6 a 8 igual no resolvería el overcrowding. El liderazgo del Departamento de Educación vio que explorar, y digo explorar porque estamos en la fase de recabar sus comentarios y opiniones y preguntas.
Que no valen.
I wanted to lift up also in the chat.
Yeah,
Since you're
I will
done,
just-
and since you're done, so I could go to the chat so I don't forget, before it disappears.
So, eso es lo único que quería decir, que se ha mirado y que el liderazgo del de hoy fue quien decidió. Pero explorar porque no hay nada en firme. Acá estamos recabando comentarios. Okay.
So, someone wanted to know when the proposal would happen, and so if the proposal goes through, it would start in the fall of this upcoming school year, year 25-26, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so it would start in year 25-26 with grade 9 only, then 10, then 11, then 12, across the two buildings, separate staff, you guys could imagine. And then another parent says that, you can read for yourself, that the kids deserve the building, and to tell us who is pushing for the change and why.
Ok, algunos padres están preguntando que si esta propuesta se va a hacer, si la aceptan, ¿cuándo va a empezar? Si a mitad de año, si para el año 2025-2026. Y que eso se haría gradualmente, tendríamos 9º grado allá, los estudiantes que ya están aquí, que se quedarían aquí, y gradualmente sería 9 allá, después 10, así. Otros dicen que los estudiantes de aquí se merecen este building.
Y ¿Y dónde uno tiene que ir?
Y están preguntando también que ellos digan quién está tratando de que eso se haga. ¿Quién está empujando para que se haga?
Also, someone wrote, respectfully, if it's a matter of overcrowding and there's no space available, why isn't that space used for the purposes proposed here and leave the cinema school where it is?
Pero denle una propuesta a esa gente que ese espacio lo cojan del 6 al 8, allá, que se queden allá, que hagan una escuela nueva allí para los estudiantes que salen del 5, que se vayan para allá y ya cuando se vayan para el 8, ya, si lo aceptan aquí o donde sea, pero que cojan ese espacio para eso, hagan esa propuesta.
Esa propuesta se puso.
You want me to translate?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay, so she's saying that why that space you don't use it for the 6th to 8th grade, and then when they pass to high school, it depends where they accept it. If they accept it here or in another school.
That's right. That was part of the first round of proposals. Opening a brand new middle school in that space that opened up that way. Nobody had to move.
Okay.
But we got feedback from chiefs, feedback from the superintendent, and feedback from the team of Board of Safety that that was not a no-go and not a good idea, especially placing middle school students with high school students. That is no-go. It's different if it is a 6 to 12. That's different. But placing a brand new middle school, that was a no-go. Mark Rumperson shared, remember that he said something about the age difference between the 6th grade and 12th graders, and that was not safe to put just a standalone middle school. So that's why that was no longer explore further. Para traducir, esa propuesta se hizo. Fue en la primera fase de propuestas, poner una escuela intermedia una nueva escuela intermedia en el espacio que se vacó de la escuela charter. Sin embargo, recibimos el feedback, los comentarios de las chiefs, y también de la seguridad del boro, del condado, de las escuelas, y ellos dijeron que poner una escuela intermedia sola en un campus de high school, de escuelas de high school, que no era, que no es algo que ellos apoyen, que no es seguro para los niños la diferencia entre 12 y 6, porque una cosa es que sean parte de una escuela secundaria, de una institución, otra cosa es que estén como una escuela sola, intermedia.
But that's the same thing. That's the same thing as putting 6 to 12. That's
They're-
the same thing.
There are
They supposedly they like all worried about, you know, the
The
age
thing-
difference and everything, but that's the same thing.
but there are part of one, that's what the difference, they're part of one school. We do have
Yo le dije a
high
ella que es
school
lo mismo
campuses.
poner 6 a 12,
No,
es
no,
el riesgo.
they are high schools with 6 to 12 with other high schools. That's the issue here, is to put a standalone middle school. That's the issue. El problema
Aquí I feel like DOE is not caring about the voices of the parents. It's like voting. DOE doesn't care, election doesn't care to hear the right, you know, they say if you don't vote, don't say nothing. But we as voters and stuff like that, this is the same thing as election. You guys don't wanna hear what the parents want to say, or you coming over here saying, oh, we already, we're on the final, we already spoke, you know, they already heard it. This is sorry to say, because it's upsetting already, you know, all meetings and everything is upsetting. You keep saying that, no, you know, it's gonna come to a final and this and that. I don't know if you guys came in here with the mentality to probably hear from the parents, okay, that's fine, yeah, let's go move over. No, that's not the mentality that we have. I'm saying is that you guys do not care, DOE does not care for the rights, what parents have to say. They may be only like 5 or 6 parents here, it doesn't matter. It takes 5 or 6 parents, you guys need to hear what we say, because you guys are the messengers.
we are taking notes, and we're gonna
Yeah,
put
but
back.
exactly, you guys are the messengers. I don't know if the same conversation that's brought in here, like let's say it's a paragraph, you guys are just taking it over there with just one sentence.
Debería de ser una encuesta con estudiantes y padres, como dice ella, preguntar cuántos padres están de acuerdo de que se mueva la escuela. Eso es lo que yo considero que se debería de hacer, porque aquí ni los papás ni los estudiantes tienen voto. Nosotros no somos nadie, simplemente ellos son igual que esto acá.
You're
Vienen.
saying that it should be like a survey for the parents and the students, because that's a way that their voice can be heard.
No, ellos toman su decisión.
Y yo lo que dije en español fue que nosotros como padres, esto es como una elección.
Sí.
El DOE no le importa nuestra voz, lo que los padres tienen que decir. Es como elección también. Los políticos no les importa nada lo que los otros tenemos que decir, nada más quieren un voto. Ellos nada más quieren un voto que sí, se va para allá, se va para allá, se va para allá. Ellos nada más lo que quieren es ese voto. Que nosotros nos vayamos para allá, pero nosotros como padres tenemos derecho y no nos tenemos que mover porque el Departamento de Educación quiera, porque eso es mentira, porque hoy en día están abriendo, they're opening a lot of charter schools, and a lot of kids are moving into charter school, you understand? So if that Maho is 6 to 12, why don't they eliminate the 6 to 12 or put Maho in over there?
Exacto.
Because let me tell you something, Maho is by lottery. You have a risk, it's like the lotto, you have a risk to get in there. So I don't understand how the overcrowding. I don't understand it. Yo le dije a ella que Maho es como una lotería. Para tú entrar en esa escuela, tú necesitas, no sé cómo hacer para entrar. So yo no sé qué es posible que si 100 estudiantes aplicaron para Maho, 100 estudiantes lo cogieron. And you know why I tell you that? Because when my son, I applied for my son, first school that I applied was Maho. But thank God, well, they accepted him in cinema. In Metropolitan, I took him out. Why? Because my son was not, I feel like my son was not safe in that school. Ese building no es seguro para nuestros hijos mudarnos allá. ¿Por qué? Porque se van a enfermar mentalmente, emocionalmente, todo eso se van a enfermar ellos. Y el departamento, ellos están sentados con aquí, los otros estuvimos ya sentados con ellos. Ellos están sentados aquí hoy con nosotros con la misma historia. I'm telling them that you guys we're sitting here with you guys here today. No, we're all respecting everything, but we keep hearing the same story over and over.
And I wanna lift up what's going on in the chat
Yes.
really quickly. So, someone is saying that parents, our voices need to be heard, teachers and staff can't fight this alone, they need to move the other school into the chaos that is the main campus of Monroe, just reading as it is. Heard, there was concern about, Ms. Ramos's delivery, that it sounds more like a decision and not a proposal. And someone also wrote, how will our students film throughout the day in the hallways the way that they currently do? And then someone echoed that it definitely sounds like they've made a decision and don't think parents would be present to disagree. A parent has asked about our current enrollment, and additionally, if you could clarify the occupancy capacity of the third floor in the Monroe building. Another response that we have, that parents need to be heard, and that they do not want to occupy the third floor of the main building.
Thank you.
Que algunos de las reseñas que hicieron que decía que como ella se oye es como que es una decisión, no una propuesta. Otra persona se fundaba lo mismo, como que cuántos estudiantes están ahora mismo ingresados acá, que los padres tienen que hacerse escuchar, que tienen que ser...
Porque por lo que yo veo, tú no estás muy a favor de nosotros.
No.
No,
Exactamente.
tú no estás a favor de nosotros, déjame que te lo digo.
Yo estoy acá para simplemente, yo soy la mensajera.
Pues vaya y
Yo no,
dígale a
yo
ellos
no,
que
yo
tú
no
estás de
tengo voz
acuerdo.
ni voto, yo no soy la que decide.
Tú dijiste que tú eres la mensajera, pues usted le va a decir a ellos que
Por
tienen
supuesto.
que escuchar a los padres y a los estudiantes, no lo que ellos decidan, porque los que van a la escuela son los estudiantes. Ellos se sienten cómodos aquí. Aquí ellos ya tienen su mentalidad que ellos se van a graduar acá, hasta su cuarto año. Entonces, ¿qué? ¿Lo quieren poner, como dice ella, desorientarlo? Entonces, si tú no estás de acuerdo, ¿tú estás a favor de esa gente? Sí, tú estás a favor de ellos.
Me hace pensar que estoy a favor o en
De
contra.
la forma que tú estás hablando.
Sí.
Yo quiero decir,
Tú no has dicho
Listen,
nada que
I-
tú vas a
I
hacer nada
understand.
para ayudarnos a nosotros. Tú no has hablado nada de eso.
es que ese no es mi rol. Quiero ser
Pero
completamente
tú puedes
franca, mi
coger ese
rol.
rol también.
No puedo
Sí
coger ese
puedes,
rol.
tú puedes opinar.
Dentro, por supuesto que puedo opinar. Y
Pero
yo
a
he
favor de
dado mi
nosotros.
opinión. Pero eso no importa. Lamentablemente mi rol no
Y si
importa.
nosotros hacemos una huelga y de aquí no nos movemos, todos los estudiantes y padres, ¿qué van a hacer ellos? Porque yo sí
Es
me
que yo
pinto para
necesito
eso.
y'all need a meeting with, y'all need to meet with the students too.
We are.
Por su vida.
I don't know when, because
Wednesday.
you said that the last time, the next meeting, we was gonna have it with the students.
We wanted to inform the
Huh?
staff and the parents, and then the
That was a
students
month
are
ago.
coming.
¿Y dónde uno tiene que ir para hablar con esa persona? Porque yo voy.
So where'd you have to
Espérate,
go?
amor, Listen, déjame let me yo just decirle say,
Espérate,
algo.
espérate.
I
Ah,
understand, I understand that they're concerned about middle school safety and mixing with high schools. I get it. However, are they thinking on our high school students being mixed with those high school students? Because they don't have the greatest reputation,
No,
I have to say. So
Thank you.
what about our kids' safety? That's the bottom line here. What about ours?
They don't care.
Esa fue la vergüenza.
They're considering the safety of the middle school, but what about our kids?
That's right.
That's the bottom line.
Que ella está diciendo que ella entiende perfectamente la preocupación de ellos de poner los estudiantes de escuela mediana con la secundaria, pero entonces ella dice que qué pasa con los estudiantes de nosotros, porque okay, pero que tampoco entonces qué pasa con los estudiantes de nosotros porque ellos no tienen la mejor reputación, qué pasa con los estudiantes, con la seguridad de nuestros estudiantes. And before that they were, talking, she said that she feels that she's not in our side. She's,
I think that's unfair to say.
él dice que eso no sé, lo que tú dijiste que ella no se siente dentro.
But we're in freedom
Él
of
dice
speech,
que
we're
no,
allowed to
guys
say
have
anything we
the-
want.
And she was saying that she's
For the
only
other school,
a
how many students
messenger.
they have?
Yeah.
4 sections per grade.
It's
They were saying four
it's
sections
hitting
per chapter.
a nerve because it's echoed in the chat as well. I don't think that there's anything that she's saying that would indicate that. I think it just speaks to just
We're
how
upset of it. We're upset.
people feel about the situation.
Me as a parent.
Sí, ella dice que no cree que sea que ella que tú hayas dicho algo mal, sino que
The
quizás
decision
a veces
makers are not in the
exacto
room.
de la decisión, sino que a veces se puede sentir así por la forma de cómo uno.
Yo sé que ella no es la que tiene el poder de allá arriba, pero también como que para defendernos a nosotros.
That she knows that you don't have that role to make the decision, but she just wants that you push a little bit more to help us.
Then who's gonna help us? Who helps
Or
us in
who
this?
is gonna help us?
That's the community has to
Don't
help
worry.
the community.
Yeah.
Es
Dale,
que la
Mercedes.
comunidad tiene que ayudar a la comunidad, Mercedes.
Sí.
We could also talk more directly after the meeting.
Yeah.
This is live stream. But we did advocate for, your proposals and what's been happening. We did advocate for those as a district team and as people, and we do let them know the gravity of how you feel. It's not something that we push over in one sentence or whatever it is. We do let them know how this is. We meet, we had a meeting with, the people from the elected officials office, and we let them know that this is not easy, and we do let people know in the DOE that it is also not gonna be an easy 1, 2, 3, right? But there is power in a community, right? Just because something is being explored, it doesn't mean it's something that's gonna come through from beginning to the end. You have a lot of voice, as a community. I was a principal once, and my parents had a lot of voice, and they were able to, I'm just gonna leave it at that. You have a voice
Yes.
as parents, aside from talking to us. There are other avenues that you can also explore as a group of people.
Have any of the Monroe schools that are currently there expressed an interest in becoming a 6 to 12?
I I don't think we can
instead of
speak
having
for
a
the
a
schools, right?
standalone
We're not
6 to
part of
12, have any of them been interested in that? Because
We can't speak for any other entity, we can only speak for ourselves.
Mercedes.
Yo, a lo que yo escucho, tuvimos una reunión con ellos, ¿verdad?
Sí, el mes pasado.
Ajá, entonces, ya ellos conocen el caso en el distrito, el mayor de ellos ya lo conoce. Entonces, me gustaría que cuando se haya alguna reunión con los padres, que si ellos pueden hacerse presentes, alguno de ellos, para que decida, porque nos vamos ahí en reuniones, se va a pasar el año, ustedes no pueden como decidir, ok, yo entiendo, ustedes vienen a recoger la información y se la llevan allá. Ellos son los que deciden, ¿tú ves?
Algún representante de
Sí, ellos representan, ¿verdad? Entonces, pero me gustaría que cuando nos convoquen sean con algo ya, y que los padres, que haya muchos padres para hacer una elección, porque que eso así, como que no tiene, siempre va a ser lo mismo, entonces no tiene como una determinación. Yo tengo una niña aquí, ¿verdad? Ha escuchado que no están de acuerdo, que parece que yo he escuchado la propuesta que hay, entonces como que no le va a hacer bien a su aprendizaje, a su entorno, no se van a sentir bien. Además, hay más escuelas acá, porque dicen que esta, si hay más, quizá por la cantidad de estudiantes que tiene esta, o porque tiene la otra, si esta es la que tiene menos, para llenar allá, o que todas esas cosas es bueno que uno tiene que saberlas para saber cómo es que se va a hacer.
Okay, she's saying that last month we had a meeting, and she would like that the people that make the decisions come to visit us, because she understands that you are only messengers to them, and they would love to have someone here, because she also wants to know what are they thinking. So she's almost begging that the next time that we have another meeting, if someone can come and explain how the process is going, what is their thinking. Because she understands, she completely got that you are only messengers, so she would love to have someone from the mayor office here, or the mayor, I know. Yeah.
We can.
And just to lift up what's going on in the chat, there was an echo that our students need to feel safe, that this move is not the best decision. A suggestion that this would have been better on Zoom so that you can hear the parent's voice versus just texting it. And then, I'm assuming that the people who sit above us, who make the decisions, that they don't have an understanding of what's happening where we are on a school level. And moving forward, I'll take the suggestion to have separate meetings, one in English and one in Spanish. Thank you for the suggestion, I think it's a great suggestion. And someone is saying that parents need to protest.
Pero quien tomó esa decisión fue el canciller que renunció.
She's asking who took the decision, if the mayor would just.
O Camarita, ¿cuál fue de los dos? ¿El que se fue o el mayor Eliara? ¿Cuál de los dos fue? El que se renunció, el canciller de educación. Porque
The
si,
corrupted one?
The who made the
corrupto.
proposal.
El que se
el que renunció, porque si fue él, eso no me mire y no se ría, que yo estoy diciendo la verdad. Si él fue que tomó esa decisión, eso se puede revalidar con la nueva jefa de educación. Porque si fue el señor que se fue, eso no tiene validez.
No.
¿Es o no es?
No,
Entonces,
no.
¿a dónde hay que ir a pelear?
She's asking who made the decision, if it was, not the decision, the proposal.
¿Es o no es?
If it was the mayor that just quit,
Ajá.
or.
Maybe the chancellor?
The chancellor, new chancellor.
Yeah.
¿El que se fue? No, eso no tiene validez.
She's asking if that was him.
Eso no puede tener validez porque ya ese señor renunció.
A ver, están dando
Ningún seguimiento. Ese señor no tiene ni voz ni voto porque es corrupto.
Because if was
And
the
the
one
way you guys
who
are looking,
resigned.
make it seem like you guys don't even know who. Y'all looking at each other like trying to figure out.
No, it was not, I mean, I'm not in those, moments where we do explain what it is that is going on. Okay, I can't.
No diga eso.
Well,
No, I just said that everything's just a pure lie, and he can't deal with it no more. We are parents, you guys need to hear us,
I'm
whether
hearing
it's
you.
respectfully, or whether we just frustrated.
No, it's not frustrating, but
It
you
is
know,
frustrating.
it's frustrating to me also to be
And I know it's
accused of
frustrating to
somebody
you
that
guys
doesn't
too.
care. I
You
care a
understand?
lot. I care a lot. I care a lot. I wouldn't take this job if I didn't care.
Right.
I would have just said, this is how it's gonna go, let me know how you think, let's list it down, okay, goodbye. I wouldn't be listening to you and I wouldn't be advocating for you and how you feel if I didn't care. I care quite a bit. And we fought in the very beginning of this stage. And we are now here.
And how many more months do we need to still, cause you're saying next year they're
The
gonna start.
vote is set to be at the end of January, is that correct?
No,
No.
there's,
There's no vote yet.
Okay, no, I just,
everybody keeps on saying it's a done deal, you said it is a lie, and I'm sorry if you feel that way, but I'm really serious, this is exploratory, I'm here, and the reason I wanted to come back to you who have been in the SLT meeting, the reason we took so long to come back was because there have been book walkthroughs, the Principal Warner submitted a list, and then the the person who will be really responsible to see how much money we can get and the timeline went back and is working out with operations to see budget timeline, but we're confident upgrades can be made, and that's the reason. We didn't wanna come back to say, oh yeah, the same stuff. This is the update that I have as of today. I wish I could give you more detailed updates, but the negotiations and conversations with operations keep on going. And I'm sorry if you feel this is a lie, but I honestly say this is exploratory. We met with electeds, we met with staff, we're meeting with the parents who are online, who are here, and then we're gonna meet with the students, and then we have to come back with all this feedback. And again, and to your point, thank you for understanding. Thank you for understanding we are messengers. It's not that I don't care, I do care a lot, but who makes the decisions, DOE leadership. And we will be, we can commit is that we will go back and share this feedback.
and just to clarify my thoughts about the January, if the proposal goes through, then the vote will be in January.
Not
Not
necessarily.
necessarily.
Okay, so scratch that for the record.
Okay.
My understanding was that it was going to happen in January. If the proposal went through, you're saying that that is not the
Not
case?
The Bronx has 2 windows, so.
Okay,
One is January and one is April.
okay, there are 2 voting windows, one is in January, one is in April, just to make sure that everybody understands the
Okay,
general
hay
timeline.
dos meses que se va a votar, que una en enero y la de otra.
Hay 2 oportunidades, o puede ser una en enero o una a finales de marzo, comienzo de abril, ajá. Pero, como digo, that's why I cannot say, oh, the vote will be here and then, because before the vote, there's a posting of an actual proposal, there's a joint public hearing, there's so many steps we have to inform, joint SLT for this building, joint SLT for the other building. There's a lot of other things that need to happen, so I will translate. Lo que estaba diciendo yo es que yo siento mucho que piensen que es una mentira, que piensen que este es ya está hecho. A nosotros sí nos importa, y la verdad es de que tomamos de manera muy seria nuestro trabajo. Mi compromiso para ustedes es, nosotros tenemos que recolectar, ya lo hicimos de los elected officials, lo hemos hecho con los staff hoy día con ustedes y el miércoles con los estudiantes. La razón por la cual no vinimos antes, porque nos hemos encontrado nos reunimos con ese día hace un mes, fue porque en ese interim estábamos tratando de recabar información. Hubieron dos walkthroughs donde se caminaron los dos ambientes. La directora Warner pasó una lista de cosas que tendría que pasar y eso se tomó. Se está viendo la plata, se está viendo el presupuesto, se está viendo cuál sería digamos, el timeline, ¿cómo se dice timeline?
El tiempo.
El tiempo en el cual se debería de hacer estas cosas, y ahorita en este momento donde están es hablando con operaciones para ver el dinero, el timeline, pero lo que sí puedo decir es que estamos bastante desconfiados de que sí se van a hacer, en caso que esto se siga moviéndose adelante, se podrían hacer estas mejoras, que es lo que la directora ha puesto una lista. So, again, no es que el voto vaya a ser en enero, vaya a ser ya, no, estamos en una fase exploratoria, estamos recabando y gracias por entender que somos los mensajeros, y sí entiendo que es frustrante que las personas que están tomando la decisión no están acá, pero digamos nosotros somos los que estamos en representación. Con eso creo que...
Dígale a ellos que nosotros estamos de acuerdo de que muevan la escuela.
That the message that she wants you to send is that they
Por
don't want
favor,
the school to
sí.
be moved.
Y que
Lo
den
hemos
la
dicho.
cara, que no sean cobardes, porque cuando uno toma una decisión tan así, uno tiene que venir uno mismo, no mandar a su representante.
And that they should have come instead of you
So
to face the situation.
in the chat, something similar was, a parent said that they want the decision makers here, and that in the previous SLT meeting, it was said that there was gonna be a vote in January. That parents take action, that in the last meeting, it was communicated that on January 28th, it was the day for the vote, that they have it in notes from that meeting. A retracted message, parents saying, stop sending kids to school to go on strike. I don't think they're considering the safety of our children. Parents saying they will not stop sending their children, but they wanna stand up and fight. Another parent saying it's not a good idea, moving our kids into a building with a bad reputation and putting our kids at risk. I really hope that this was a proposal and not a finalized decision. And then lastly, that they hear, that we are supposedly crowded, but why can't the other school be the one to change? And then another parent saying this is his son's, I'm assuming it's a he, this is Eric, this is my son's dream school, and I'm sure that it's your kid's dream school as well. Please don't let the dream be destroyed by politics.
I have a question. Why can't cinema have its own building? In case that there's no way that we can remain here and we have to move, why we have to move over there instead of have our own building with the conditions that we need, form film, safety? So la pregunta es que por qué el cinema no puede tener su propio building entonces, si ya no hay otra forma de que no podamos estar aquí, porque en vez de mandarnos hacia allá, no tenemos nuestro propio building como escuela con las cosas que nosotros necesitábamos, que como para los filmes, la seguridad que tenemos hasta ahora, ¿por qué no podemos tener entonces nuestra propia escuela?
Es una buena pregunta. It's a good question. The school authority for construction are the ones who take a look into where it makes sense to build, especially now with the class size loan, where it makes sense to build new school buildings, right? And based on that, it's a long process. So once they identify, they go, they scout, there's a whole year where they have to go through a lot of legal steps until they acquire the land. Once they acquire the land, then there's the design. After the design, there's the construction. It takes at least 3 to 5 years. 3 years for construction, another 1 or 2 until they find the space and then get the actual land, work it out. There are a lot, this is a district, this is a pocket of overcrowding, and this is what we have been advocating with SEA. SEA says, but we look, there's no deficit of middle school, there's like surplus, more seats in elementary school, middle school, and high school. There's no deficit here. We can comply, it's fine. And what we have been trying to say, that's what you see on your paper. What you're not taking into account is the geographical barrier, the pocket of overcrowding over here. So we are advocating for a new school building that's, again, that's up to SEA. We have meetings, we have been trying to show that there is a real need here, and not only middle school, soon will be elementary school, because everything is crowded. But then to your point, we're not seeing a deficit of high school seats. So SEA is not likely gonna be like, oh, we'll build a new high school building. What we are advocating is for that sort of like middle school that we really need, and that's 5 years in the working. If today they would decide, yes, we'll work and find a space in this area. There are other schools, I think District 20 or District 23, where I think every single school is overcrowded and cannot comply. And so the Queens has a lot of overcrowding, so that's where all the new schools, sort of the money, the pocket of money, the pie of money is being divided. So realistically, I say it realistically, that it's a lot of work to even get that new school building, and for that new school building to be built, but also for SEA to see that there's a need. More likely the need will be for a middle school or a K-8 rather than a high school, because the data shows there's more.
Another thing. So we have a need of middle school, right? So instead of the cinema building, why you don't do like a middle school building?
Again, we are advocating for that, right? But it's 5 years in the making. So, and the sort of like the space that is freed up is now. We're doing both. Does that make sense? We're doing both. Y lo voy a hacer en español. La pregunta que ella tenía es, ¿por qué no nos consigue nuestro propio edificio? La verdad es que nosotros tenemos la School Construction Authority, la autoridad de construcción de escuelas, es el que está encargado de ver, analizar dónde hay déficits de cupos. Ok, donde no hay, necesitamos, vamos a construir y vamos y buscamos tierra, y hay todo un año en el cual uno es encontrar la tierra, ya encontramos la tierra, de ahí poder adquirir la tierra, los derechos, empecé a hacer todo pasos legales, de ahí construirlo son 3 años, entonces son como 5 años. Y lo que el SEA dice, pero acá en el distrito 12 no hay problema, no hay déficit. Y lo que nosotros estamos tratando de explicarles y de que estamos abogando es, eso es lo que tú ves en papel, pero en el campo lo que estamos viendo es hay una barrera geográfica. So hay como un pocket de sobrepoblación, hay un punto, hay espacios de sobrepoblación, y tú tienes que construir, nosotros estamos diciendo, tienes que construir una nueva escuela, un school building, un edificio. Probablemente sea para escuela intermedia o escuela en K-8, ¿no? De kindergarten a octavo, porque también hay sobrepoblación, está bien tight en la parte de escuela primaria, pero en escuela secundaria no hay realmente un déficit. Entonces, muy difícil que la autoridad de construcción de escuelas acceda a eso. Y si accediera, de aquí son a 5 años. Entonces, lo que estoy tratando de decir es que por un lado el espacio se ha abierto ahora, y por otra parte nosotros seguimos abogando para que consigan espacio acá y que se haga un edificio. Nosotros seguimos haciendo a la par, digamos. Y lo que quería explicar es que SEA ve toda la ciudad. Hay ciertos distritos en el cual Queens, por ejemplo, hay mucha sobrepoblación. Entonces están abriendo, digamos, el pie de dinero se está repartiendo donde aquellos distritos donde no se puede cumplir con la ley, porque no hay forma, o sea, demasiados estudiantes, no hay demasiado espacio, y ahí es donde se está, digamos, mandando la plata. Entonces, decirte que podemos conseguir de que le den a Cinema su propio edificio sería muy, muy difícil. Lo que sí estamos abogando es que se construya un edificio nuevo que pueda servir a escuela intermedia y intermedia primaria, una cosa así. Pero no es nuestra decisión.
And how is going to be with the staff? Because we are going to have students over there, the students here. Are we going to have two deans, the teachers, how they're gonna teach? You know, how is that gonna be? Yo le estaba preguntando cómo va a ser el asunto del staff que trabaja para la escuela. Vamos a tener dos deans, los maestros cómo van a hacer, sí, porque vamos a tener estudiantes allá y estudiantes aquí. Are you going to hire more teachers? Because it's the same, you know, it means in money.
¿Y
Bueno,
por
pero
qué?
yo le voy a decir
Yo le voy a
algo,
decir algo.
para continuar con lo que ella dice.
Sí.
Entonces, si esta escuela, ¿verdad? Lo que tienen que dejarla aquí como está y no moverla, porque si que esperen a los 5 años que puedan ya construirla para que la muevan. Entonces, ahora lo que tienen que dejarla aquí como está.
No, es que esta escuela nosotros abogamos, no me han dado la decisión de que la van a hacer. No sé si
Sí, pero yo digo como en un futuro.
Es que no te puedo decir que lo van a hacer.
No,
Ah, porque la dejen
lo que
aquí,
tienen
entonces,
que
¿dónde
hacer
está?
es sacar un rol que no tiene una buena, ¿cómo se dice? Una buena reputación. Saque esa escuela completa de ahí y mover esta desde el 6 hasta el 12. Eso es lo que te tienen que decir, ya se acabó el problema.
She's saying that why don't you move
Se acabó el
all
problema.
our
Ya.
school to Jensmore
Saca
Road
Entonces no se
and
quiere ir
take
de
out
aquí.
No.
Jensmore Road to
No se
another
quiere ir.
place. That's what she's saying.
Y se acaba el problema. Saquen a Monroe de ahí y muevan así de manera del 6 al 12 y ya no hay problema. Porque esa escuela no tiene buena reputación por acá y no me dejan mentir.
And honestly, it is true. That school has a very,
Y ya.
very
Y le dan
bad
aquella completo así de
reputation.
mí, ya.
It does. Metropolitan, whatever other, I don't know if Panamerica is in there, the World Culture, whatever school is in there. They all have, even charter school that left from there had bad reputation. Remember the last meeting I told you how it was the students? And they continue each and every time. The facility is fine, it's just the student, it's not safe. There's a lot of stuff that maybe they're not saying or whatever, but that school is not a safe environment for kids from this school to move over there because somebody else wants the whole facility to himself, being greedy and not caring for the students that are here, moving on, like throwing them, I just go over there, then I'm pretty sure they're gonna get adapted to it. That's not the way it works. That school has a bad reputation. You guys are not around there every single day. We're from the community, we see everything that goes on, and it's horrible, and it's sad to see that a school like that is, I'm sorry to say the word like this, corrupted. It's just sad. And we're not gonna feel, me as a parent, we're not gonna move our kids into an environment where dropout's gonna be so high, absence is gonna be so high, kids not gonna want, I said in the last meeting, kids are not gonna wanna be coming to school. They not. So why not phase out a school? I don't even know how much, I can't speak for them, I don't know. But I don't know how Metropolitan's rate is. Why don't they phase that out? Phase them out. That's it. Because you know why? Yo le estoy diciendo a ella que esa escuela tiene una reputación bien mala. Reputación. Ellos no están alrededor de la escuela. Nosotros somos como los padres lo estamos viendo. And you know why I feel like also, I can't speak for them. Somebody from them had to be here. I don't know. But I feel if this is a community school, a community area school, why they still accept, and I know because my son graduated my hall, but there was kids coming from Staten Island, why? Why not accept kids from this community? And the reason why I say it, because my nephew goes to a special needs school up in Boston, Webster, and they wanted to put the other one, my other nephew, in that school, and the principal said no, because we're trying to work with the community kids first. They don't wanna take kids from school buses, even special needs, they don't wanna take them. They feel like they need to work with the community. Now, one child is here in a special needs school, and the other one's over there on Webster. So stop taking kids who is not in the zone school. Stop taking them, and there won't be no overcrowding. And I would really, I'm not saying, well, I did say earlier it's a lie, but I don't even know whether it's true or not, if there's really an overcrowding. Because you know a lot of charter schools are opening up. And more kids feel like they wanna go, either to Gun Hill, to Fordham, or whatever. Because I told you, it's a lottery to get into my home. It's a lottery.
So,
I just think, but before
Go
the
ahead, Ms.
chat
Warner.
disappears, we finally have a beautiful school. I have to read, I'm gonna read reverse because we finally have a beautiful school where our children are flourishing and they want to snatch it from us. Another parent says intermingling with the students at the TCS Relocation campus, I feel will be a detriment to our kids' academic future. The decision is not in the interest of students, parents, or teachers, but rather reflects the priorities of administrators or policymakers. This often leads to choices that neglect. When we went on our tour, my son was very happy with his new school. I don't think it's fair to show them these things and then take it away. Another parent says, I agree with all the parents. Someone just said, especially with our freshmen this year, they're just starting to get adjusted to a new environment. Now you want to send them to a building where they have to be afraid. And then I screenshot to just make sure. A parent said, teachers shouldn't move. I'm not just speaking for my child, I'm speaking for mine, yours, and future students of TCS. We are at peace sending our kids to the current school building. The same can't be said if they're moved. Bring the one who started this and bring the one who decides, and to stop the bureaucracy. I'm just reading.
That's what we want.
Ok, en resumen, muchos padres no están de acuerdo con la decisión, están pidiendo que la persona que empezó y que va a tomar la decisión venga y enfrente la situación para que puedan hablar. Otros han dicho que los niños están muy contentos en este ambiente y como que ahora moverlo a otro ambiente, que les gustó la escuela cuando vinieron a hacer el tour aquí. Can you answer my question, please, about the staff?
So part of, Principal Warner's list includes the staffing and what it would need, what we would need to be able to handle two separate areas. Again, they're exploring the idea that every kid that's currently in this building stays in this building. It's the new ninth graders that come in, and then you phase them in there, while the kids that are currently here get to stay here and graduate from this building. That's the idea that they were thinking, and so that would require different staff at different places. You know, certain teachers would teach multiple classes. One teacher would, you know, like Principal Warner put to her proposed idea that if that's gonna happen, that she needs a whole set of different staff in the other building that just teaches the ninth grade versus shuttling back and forth and, you know, those kinds of things.
Yo le pedí que respondiera a la pregunta que hice ahorita del staff, cómo se va a hacer. Entonces, Miss Warner, dentro de una lista de cosas que ella requiere que pasen si esa propuesta es aceptada, incluyendo una lista de profesores que tienen que estar ahí. Y él también dice que quiere aclarar que los estudiantes que están ya en la escuela van a permanecer aquí hasta que se gradúen. Es para los estudiantes de noveno grado que vienen el año que viene, 2025, 2026, son los que van a estar allá.
Solamente
Ya los que
9
están
grados.
gradualmente.
Los que van a entrar
Los que van a entrar nuevos, los que están aquí ya se van a quedar aquí
¿Y
hasta
por
que
qué
se
entonces
gradúen.
están,
That's
y por
correct.
qué están asustando a los muchachos? Entonces, eso ya es un problema de hablarlo con ella y con ustedes arriba, no con los muchachitos que están aquí, que se van a graduar. Yo considero. Porque ustedes me están asustando, Miguel y Maya.
No, quizás no se entendió bien cuando se dijo que se iba a mover la escuela, pero nosotros estamos abogando para que la escuela se quede aquí, no importa los niños que ya están aquí. Nosotros queremos que la escuela, que la oportunidad que han tenido estos estudiantes que están aquí la tengan otros estudiantes nuevos. Okay, she's saying that some students are scared because they think that they're gonna be moved over there, and explaining her that the students that are here, they're going to remain here until the graduation. It's just for the ninth grade 2025, 2026. But also, I was saying that we are obligated because we want the school to be here. Because the same opportunity that the kids that are already here, other students deserve it.
That's echoed in the sentiments of the chat as well. I'll again read, the decision doesn't lie well. To say the decision does not lie with students or parents is heartless. You have a PTA for a reason. Parents are the voices that is needed for our kids to thrive in a better society. So parents and students do not matter. Is that what's being said here? And then, I don't feel comfortable that you are trying to move our children from their original school. You are not taking into consideration children's mental health or having a hard time transitioning. Another parent is thankful for others engaging in the chat, and then responding to the idea that there will be a separation of students when they start, if we start with the 9th grade. So our kids would stay in the building, but the others would be alone. I think us parents need to seek the help of the Bronx Borough presidents and council members, and then, is what another parent says. And then another parent says our current 9th graders will be alone by senior year, which is true. Someone says a testament to the wonders of this school is the actual fact that this is being live streamed from the actual studio available in the school, which is true. And then follow up, I do not like the fact that we are told to shut up. That's what I feel when you say we don't have no decision. And then lastly, they will not properly prepare them for college and college populations. That, I'm assuming that means the move, that will not properly prepare them for college and college populations.
Okay, más de lo mismo que estaban hablando de que no están de acuerdo, hay un comentario que a mí me llamó la atención que dice que cuando los estudiantes que ahora mismo son de 9º grado, para cuando vengan a graduarse van a estar solo en el building, porque ese va a ser el último año. Bueno, básicamente lo mismo que están
Yes, I think
preguntando.
we've kind of heard,
Yeah.
right, at this
Yeah.
point, we've kind of,
But that comment that the students that are in 9th grade now, they're
That's
gonna
such
be
a-
alone
alone.
for the 12th grade.
right.
Yes,
Sad.
that's.
I think that
That's it.
resonates with me, and also what resonates with me is the idea that we're streaming this from the actual space where the
Mhm.
kids learn
Which Monroe
the
don't
film
have.
arts, which also resonates. And I think at this point, we've kind of heard the concerns echoed in a variety of different ways.
Also, it would be impossible to really separate the 9th grade and start them someplace else because, I mean, so many of them are ahead in math and science and taking 10th grade classes already.
One of the things that I wrote down and what we would need is basically one of every teacher for just one section to start with 9th graders. So yeah, we would need an algebra and a geometry teacher, a living environment and an earth science teacher, a dean, an administrator, a
Like
guidance
another
counselor, right.
Sí.
Eso más
Es como que van a tener que contratar un staff
completo.
completo para estar allá.
Completely
Porque hay algunos que.
So
Pero
in light of
quizás
having heard the
se
same
pueda
things over and over again,
De
right?
que
It could
viven con
start to
que no
close.
estar ya.
It's like a whole other
Yeah,
system.
that sounds good.
Ya, que den, que Monroe no tiene buena reputación, aboguen para que saquen esa escuela de ahí y pongan esta escuela completa allí desde el 6 al 2 y ya no hay problema. Usted verá que se va a acabar el problema.
So she's suggesting to make
verdad.
cinema in
Cinema
middle
tres.
and high school.
Allí.
She wants cinema in James Monroe campus from the 6th to 12th grade.
Ya.
And that's what she's saying.
Y saquen a esa escuela que nadie la quiere
And
por
take
acá.
out Monroe. the
Y
whole
ponen
building,
el
to another
cinema
place.
allí desde el 6 hasta el 12. Pongan esa idea ahí en la mesa.
¿Qué haríamos con las otras escuelas?
No, ustedes sabrán lo que quieren hacer con esta. Ay, qué linda. Toma ahí.
She's asking what they're gonna do with the other school then. And she said the same thing that you want to do with cinema.
Exacto. Lo que quieren hacer con cinema, háganlo con aquella que no la queremos por acá. Es lo mismito que ustedes están haciendo con nosotros, háganselo allá.
Pero no entiendo cuál es la escuela a la que se refiere.
Metropolitan.
No, esta que está acá.
O Majo.
No, la de aquí.
Sí, la que está dentro de
Porque
escuela, se
hay
llama
más
Metropolitan.
de una escuela allá.
Ajá.
Hay 3.
Hay 3.
Ok, pues como quieren unir esta con Monroe, saquen a Monroe y den el espacio que está vacío y la de Monroe a esta. Sí,
The same thing. She
lo
wants
mismo.
to become cinema in the middle and high school.
Sí,
From the 6 to 12, and then to
Exacto.
take out to another place.
Y ya no va a haber más problemas. Tú vas a hacer con aquella escuela lo mismo que quieren hacer con esta, lo hacen allí. Y se acabó el problema.
So, and then the last comment, again, at this point, we are hearing the same things, which is basically, the building is designed for the kids with their cameras to fill the space, which is what they do in the hallways, in the stairwells,
And I've seen
in
it.
the courtyard, in their classrooms, here.
And I've seen that when I
They
walk
do.
through the building and the kids are here.
So, entonces, ¿cuál es la conclusión que ustedes tienen para que no pase lo que tiene que pasar?
So what is the conclusion? She's asking what is the conclusion?
What needs to happen?
Mhm.
Para que
So
no
it
pase
doesn't
lo
happen.
que
I
lo
don't
que
want you
ellos
to think
quieren.
that as parents that you don't have a voice. You actually have a bigger voice than staff do, in my opinion,
Agreed.
Gracias.
right?
Are the biggest?
You're the biggest voice.
Dice que ustedes que él no quiere que ustedes entiendan que
Okay,
ellos
no,
tienen
no,
una
It's gonna
voz.
be very clear when we
Porque
have a
una voz.
conversation with people that the parents are like, no, hell no, you know, like, it's gonna be very clear, and that's gonna be very clearly written and articulated and spoken about, that there's not one parent that is even thinking about it.
Ustedes le ponen esa proposición en la mesa a ellos y es como dice ella, que vengan los de allá arribota que mandaron la orden, que vengan aquí, hablen con ella, con los papás, y yo sé que, perdón, tú no te quise ofender ni nada, pero yo soy así, yo sé que tú no tienes culpa, pero defiéndenos un chin también a nosotros.
And when's the next step, like meeting with the students?
Y sí, exacto, padres y estudiantes y lo de arribota que vengan, y aquí vamos a estar todos nosotros. Eso es.
She wants the admins to
¿Verdad?
come to school to speak with the parents.
Yep.
Well, that's, again, that's echoed in the chat as well, that they wanna speak to the decision makers, they wanna know who to speak
Si
to.
fue el señor que se fue, eso no tiene ni voz ni voto.
They wanna deliver their own message, according to this parent, they wanna speak to the power
Right. No, we got
directly,
that. We
without a middle person.
got that.
Si ellos quieren como, ella está explicando que lo que ellos quieren, que lo que ustedes quieren es que venga una persona para hablar, que no tenga que haber intermediarios.
Sí, que no lo manden a ustedes, que ustedes no tomaron las decisiones para que después ustedes no cojan los
They
boches.
want to speak with the people that do the decision.
Got it. No, it's noted.
Sí.
We'll share that back. You know, I wanna thank you all. I know these are upsetting news, and I appreciate your candor. And even when you said I didn't care, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I think, like you said, you do have the biggest and the loudest voice. So, just wanted to leave it at that.
Second meeting, same result.
And,
And
thank you all.
I think it's definitely fair to say that there will be follow-up with the parents after this meeting, right? Just to make sure that people who
Yes, please.
are live streaming understand that this conversation is not over. It's really kinda, I think, really heating up at this point.
Yes.
So there will be follow-up.
I have a question for our own notes. It says that there were 45 views, meaning like, because you say, you see current viewers, so
Yes.
it might be that
Floating in, I think up to
Coming on.
45 have tuned in at some point.
Got it, that's
So
what
I would
I
put
wanna know,
45 plus this many people.
Plus these
and-
many people.
46 now,
40, yeah, great.
plus what's here.
Plus who's
Exactly.
here, yeah.
No, that's for our notes, yeah,
Of
that'll be
course,
helpful.
of course.
Pero la próxima vez, díganle a los papás que no se va a pasar por ahí para que vengan todos aquí.
You know, sometimes parents can come because of work. They're trying their
Somebody's
best. That's
saying
why
Zoom.
we wanna do it hybrid.
They said Zoom would be better, because
Understood.
they can speak.
I heard,
Instead of us
so
speaking.
to those who are
Agree.
live streaming, I heard your
Huh?
feedback about having
Second
an
and Zoom.
English and Spanish meeting, and I've heard your feedback about Zoom, and I will implement those two suggestions.
Because what we can have is, we can have, if you say ahead of time, we can have a translator on the Zoom, and then they could be directly translating, so you don't have to stop and
Yeah.
translate.
That's right,
And
Yes.
stop and translate, it's translating in
Yes.
real time.
Yes.
that's helpful,
We-
yeah.
There will be Zoom follow-up, feedback received. Okay, thank you. At this time, I'm gonna stop the live streaming.